free speech, and you will not. It happens partially, but it is rare that the court forces you to speak freely or whatever. Whereas with responsibility, this is indeed something you can held in contempt for taking care of other people and act in a certain way according to common customs and so on. And of course, responsibility then means you are accountable for your action because this is the result of your actions and you behave in a certain way. You don't go to work just to feed yourself. This would be, this is something you have, especially as a single. If you live a bachelor life, it is easier to do whatever you want. But if you are a family father, then you of course have to take responsibility, and then your actions has to be considered always in accordance, or should be considered in accordance with your children. However, and this means responsibility can sometimes be against your desire, because it is not easy to go to work, or it is arduous sometimes to go to work, especially if you work with certain people. And it can as well as be against your desire. It partially or even sometimes does not serve your own well-being, but the well-being of another or a community. If you conduct yourself aptly in public, of course, this contributes to the well-being of a community as well. So this is very important. Responsibility is always something which goes beyond the individual. It is more than your single being. And here then comes purpose to play. The purpose in that sense, it is rather individual. This is what I will argue. And again, I have written out a definition of purpose, and this is the reason for which something is done or created, or which something exists. A person's sense of resolve or determination, and thirdly, a particular requirement or consideration, typically one that is temporary in scope and extent. This is actually very important. However, but you have to always be aware that purpose always is interconnected with a goal. The goal is something valuable you want to have, and this is what we try to analyze through those rap videos, through those as well as body positive. If you're chubby or obese, whatever, in society or parts of the society just considers you as lazy, as eating unhealthy, and partially it is your own fault. Whereas in this counter culture of body positive, you are being appreciated. What for? Is of course questionable, because what you are appreciated for is rather that you oppose common norms, because obesity is for a fact it is an unhealthy lifestyle. It comes a lot with an unhealthy diet. Of course, we talked about as well. You cannot always choose what you eat. Sometimes, of course, everyone, if you want to eat healthy. I cannot imagine people who willingly eat unhealthy after he knows what this done has done to him. It is rather an issue about laziness, and the same is with physical exercise. It is annoying sometimes others to get up and work in the gym and so on. But however, it comes with a benefit, and this is that you live a healthy life. And if you see, and this is to go back on social media, I mean, if you in a way take part in social media, of course your issue is that, especially in the counter culture, it is recognition. This is what you see partially in those rap videos. I mean, this is about people who are tough, about people who survived. I mean, this is then being considered as appreciative. This is then where you some sort of are better than white men who live in those secure neighborhoods, whereas you grew up in the hoods. I mean, this was not easy. This is in the hoods. You did not have all these advantages what other people had, but yet you are a tough man. You are a gangster. So you can put yourself on the pedestal. So you are manly, and of course, how you can show yourself, and this is the goal. This is what you would then have accomplished, and this is then money, girls, women, house, whatever you have. This is then the goal, and the purpose would then be the way, the path towards your goal. Or only imagine if you are a Christian, Muslim, or any one of these monotheistic religions, or nirvana in that sense. Then your goal and purpose is salvation. Salvation in the Hinduism, salvation from being reborn, being reborn in Buddhistic tradition. You are being reborn. That this stops this vicious circle, in a way stops, so that you then reach nirvana. And in this monotheistic religion, it is about salvation, that your time on earth, that this is rather despicable, and that after death your real life starts, and right there, this is your goal, reaching salvation, and then the purpose would be your way. So what you need to do to accomplish this goal, or how you can enter heaven in a sense, or if you come back to the world. I mean, if you want to be rich, and there are a lot of social media sites. I mean, if you want to be a millionaire or whatever, and then you have to have some develop a special mindset, habits. I mean, this is very important. Purpose always comes with habits, how you arrange your life. So it is rather something beyond a choice, because a choice is something you make temporary, and you have an immediate fulfillment of this choice. I mean, if you choose to be in a certain way, then you or if you choose to eat ice cream, then you can get yourself immediately on or not. However, our purpose is rather a commitment you did to reaching towards a goal, and this goal then is something valuable, like we said, money or whatever, and then you, of course, put your life or arrange your life in this certain way to accomplish this cause, this goal. One famous example on social media is how all these mindsets, billionaire, millionaire mindsets. How do you have to be successful? I mean, you all hear about and read about millionaires' lifestyles, or what they do, or what may be the receipt to success, and this is then you try to emulate, and this is what the purpose is. And purpose is, of course, something which is not responsibility. Purpose is something about you, and you only, about how you want to see the world, and so on. However, now we have, of course, one good question, and this is, what has this to do with hate? Because this is what we are trying to figure out, still are figuring out, and we are still left open with the question, what is where is the bridge between hate? And if we now go back to this association chain. If we now go back to this association chain, then we saw that this association chain came with an antagonism, with counterculture. And this is not only one thing, I mean, it goes through a lot of associations, and this is the reason why it is called as a chain, because if you only think about rap music, then of course this comes with a lot of associations, like grew up in the hood, being black, being tough, and so on. And this chain then of course includes of what you are not be. I mean, being white, being living comfortable, weak, and so on. So you create yourself according to this. And this of course has a goal, and we talked about it. I mean, the one goal is success. This is everywhere being then visible. And how can you get success? And this is being determined, or if you listen to rap music, this is being tough, being hardcore, being a gangster. This is how you can get success. Whereas in the other world, if you want outside the hoods, success is rather about your mindset, how you have to be in order to accomplish something. And then of course we have to be aware that this goal has to be in a way reachable, and this is what you are doing right now. This is as well as what you're doing on social media as well. I mean, your body positive here with the attention that you seek approval for your body, for your being, and then that you can say it is okay. But what and then of course this goal, or the reaching of this goal, has to be feasible. It has to be manageable success in that sense. But then, I mean, what might happen when you do not succeed in that sense? What is when the goal reaches so far away that even the counter culture cannot, in a way, mitigate it? And speaking of it, I mean, what if you cannot be successful? What if your ways are so bad? And this is what we see today, still, or some arguments within the Black Matter, Black Lives Matter movement. I mean, of course, we have to think about it. If all those accusations are true, I mean, we have to analyze it, but nevertheless, we know from a certain statistic that there is indeed a disadvantage within the black community. This is a fact. So it doesn't matter whether you like or dislike the Black Lives Matter movement, and I think they have a point. Of course they have, because I mean, there is indeed an issue with violence within the community, and I myself was violent, victim of racist violence as well. I mean, this is pretty much nasty, and you have to be, I mean, apparently you have to be a victim of this in order to understand this. However, I was a victim of it, and I with him can understand it, and I would hope that people would see that too. However, but then we have to think about, and this is the bridge we will try to build here, what happens when you cannot accomplish that goal, especially success, because this is what society wants from you. If you're a man, they want you to be successful. If you're a woman, they want you as well as to be successful, to be a woman, or if you're super girl, what you want. So what is when you cannot succeed in a way, and this is when of antagonism, hate is arises, and this is what we analyzed the next time. This was Adem Kirbas from Turkey in Ordu on this cloudy July day in the pandemic, and take care of yourself. Bye.